I'm trying to build a LEGO arcade filled with iconic video games that'll challenge the skill, speed, and luck of these minifigures. But then they're jumping into the worlds of the games themselves to see if they can survive the dangers that lie inside. So the first game we'll be adding on the first floor of the arcade is Frogger, which was like the OG Crossy Road, and actually it's way too small to see on the screen. Sorry, let's bring in this girl named Valerie to fix that. She's obsessed with video games and has these hyper-realistic VR goggles, so she can basically live in her own gaming world. If we just connect them to the Frogger machine here, she should see the game come to life with busy roads, infested rivers, and an army of frogs. Val invited all her gamer friends into the world, challenging them to all make it to the other side in one piece. But that is easier said than done. The traffic was brutal, and those who made it to the water section didn't have any better luck with the alligators. Thankfully, it's just a game, and they're able to respawn back at the beginning to try again. With enough practice, the entire squad made it across. Donovan, Cornelius, Weird Cat Girl, Axel, Benny, and finally Valerie. She's still trying to train for... well, that was a weird glitch. Anyways, the first thing I always think of when it comes to arcades is the carpet, oddly enough. The patterns are always so chaotic and nausea-inducing that I definitely wanted to recreate one in LEGO, using the old sideways building trick. I gathered a bunch of studs in Val's colors, except I didn't have any pink ones, so these flower pieces will have to do, and spaced them out randomly throughout the design. That's, okay, wow. After taking a minute to lie down, we can mark out places for the stairs and each of the games to go, like this next one, Tetris, the best-selling video game of all time, technically. This set, from second place, is one of the only sets ever to include these purple tiles for some reason, which I stole to build these real-life versions of the iconic Tetronymos. These things are very satisfying to try and fit together like a puzzle, and they give me a great idea. Alright, that was a fun way to build the wall. And now we can add in my favorite part about arcades as a kid, the illustrious prize wall. With glorious stuffed animals, tech products, and even LEGO sets as some of the top prizes that cost thousands of tickets. But realistically, all I was ever able to afford was just the cheap junk from Temu under the table. Benny is dead set on winning that Minion plushie though, so he's gonna start grinding out tickets while I build this air hockey game in the center. These little pieces work perfectly for the paddles, with handles they can grab onto and everything. Finding unique uses for parts is always so satisfying. Like these plates with holes in them are just what I needed to build Whack-A-Mole, minus the actual moles to go in the holes. And I know the perfect chipmunks for the job. They've just been chilling in what little forest is left in my LEGO city called 25ville, right next to where I'm putting the arcade. Eventually, I need to fill in this massive empty field that the stadium left behind, but for now, I wanted to try making one of those coin pusher games. It was really fun designing it to look like a treasure chest, using these shiny gold coins inside, and especially naming it Pirate's Booty. But as soon as I tried to make it actually functional, I quickly stopped having fun. I'm so bad at making technical mechanisms work. I eventually had to give up and find a tutorial for the pusher, and even then struggled incorporating it into my design. We got there in the end. You can put coins in through the top and turn the crank to move the pusher, but oh man, if I had to make every one of these games functional, I don't think I'd ever finish this video. Which is why I'm terrified of losing our ongoing sub race against my friend RJ Bricks. Unlike me, he's a genius at designing technical stuff, and he's gonna force me to learn how to remake one of his videos if he beats me to 1,000,000. I can't be spending months struggling with that punishment, so please subscribe if you're not already, and go support RJM's racing game project that I based this mini version off of. It's probably the last game that'll fit on this floor, but Val still needs a lot more practice, so let's build the front wall with a sliding glass door set in by this bedazzled light bulb archway, and at a second level, where we have probably the most iconic arcade game ever, Hubert. Hubert, this is a family-friendly channel. No, the actual most iconic arcade game is, of course, Pac-Man, which LEGO actually made an official minifigure scale cabinet for, as part of this little secret arcade inside the massive, working Pac-Man set. This beauty looks exactly like the real thing, with a movable joystick, lights, high scores, and a ridiculously mind-blowing mechanism using a chain that controls so many moving parts from a single crank. I don't know how they did it, but it's amazing. And it gives the squad a perfect game world to hop on into. Wait, something's not right. Maybe this was a bad idea. Oh, it's just Fozzie. What the? That glitch that keeps happening mutated poor Pac-Man into this horrifying monster, and he looks hungry.
Well, at least we'll just respawn if he eats us, right? Right?
Oh no. Run! They needed a way to stop that thing, but fruits didn't work, and pellets only made him stronger. Val knew what she had to do. She found the ghosts cowering in the corner and convinced them to join her side. They just had to make it back to Pac-Man before he caught up with her friends. Yes! The game returned to normal, and the squad was released from its confines. But the source of the glitch is still out there. Everyone begged Val that it was too dangerous to go back in, but she knew she had to. She got ready for the next game while I built this Wheel of Chance machine, which has all its prizes printed around the diameter of one of these round bricks, including an ultra rare jackpot of 10,000 tickets.
Gambling.
This was Benny's best shot at winning that minion, so he began blowing every last nickel he had on it. Yeah, good luck with that. Val's all set to go now with the next game. One of those zombie shooters with these plastic gun attachments. Except now there will be real in-game guns, real zombies, and who knows what else the glitch corrupts in there. Let's do this. Except no, her friends confiscated her VR headset for her own safety. They weren't gonna let her throw herself into danger like that. Axel suggested instead of shooting zombies, she could shoot hoops in this basketball game that actually works. Cornelius kindly offered to go get her something to drink next door. Benny continued gambling, and Weird Cat Girl tried to get her to play Dance Dance Revolution, but nothing they did helped take her mind off that horrible day 2 months earlier. It was the day of the Esports World Championship, and Valerie, after spending her entire life training in games like Valorant, Valheim, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, landed herself a spot on a team with her very first sponsorship, this new gamer energy drink called Vita Rush. And she also got to try the prototype VR headset they were designing. She took a sip before the first match, not realizing what so many of you have already figured out it would do. Something inside the drink took every single molecule in her body and formed an exact replica of her and her game controller. The clone started making erratic movements in the game, causing her entire team to lose and Val to be disqualified for cheating. She was shamed, humiliated, and outright banned from ever competing in esports again in every single league except one, the Retro Arcade Cup. Oh shoot, Cornelius duplicated too. Let's make a mark on the original so we can tell them apart. But Val's only hope of ever competing again is to somehow get good enough at these old arcade games to win that upcoming tournament. And she needs as much first-hand experience as she can get. Let's just hope she knows what she's doing. After clearing hordes of zombies, she made it to the extra glitchy final boss. Wait, what was that? It's some sort of hacker. They must be the one behind all this glitchy nonsense. Val tried to go after them, but the game instantly ended and booted her out. Who was that? Probably not Benny. But with this floor now completed, let's build up the walls for the final level. Wait, no, that's not right. Hey, Ralph, get up there and wreck it. Thank you. Wait, too much. No. Oh man, we need Felix to fix it now. There we go. No, I'm actually basing the arcade's exterior on this amazing LEGO Ideas project by 2A2A. Massive shout out to her. Using a tree as the joystick on this upper balcony is just so genius. I will be stealing that. And the screen being one big window, it's incredible. I'm so sad it didn't make it. It would have looked awesome next to the Pac-Man set. But this slanted front side does leave us with a lot less room on the 3rd floor. So unfortunately, I don't think I can fit this Street Fighter game I made using this giant arcade cabinet piece from a LEGO Ninjago set. It came in quite possibly the coolest shaped box I've ever seen, which we'd have even less room to fit. But I'd even designed these custom Ken and Ryu figures from the game, and oh well, they can go fight on the Frogger Street instead. However, we can fit this little strength test game and a mini minion claw machine that's most likely rigged to be impossible. We cannot let Benny see this. He's gonna waste the rest of his money on it. And speaking of him down there, you may have noticed the lack of stairs to get to this floor, but don't worry, I did think of that. We can just punch a hole in the floor and use instead as like an elevator. So everyone except Benny can come up and see the interesting artwork on the games we've built so far. I really tried to use official LEGO prints when I could on these designs, but making my own stickers just looks so much better for everything except Pac-Man and Defender, since they're the only ones LEGO actually made. This one was included in some random LEGO Dimensions set, and it's like Space Invaders, but horizontal. Val's friends knew they couldn't stop her from going in there, so they decided they're coming with. Let's see if we can stop this hacker once and for all. Ah, he escaped to the final video game. Not now, Cuber. But before we get to that one, I wanted to use one more amazing hack I found online. By flipping a classic 2x4 over to use the anti-stud tubes underneath as holes in a skee ball game. It's so big brain, I love it. Let's plop a roof on this stinker with a sign spelling out arcade and add one of the little pixel art aliens at the front window to finish it all off. This is easily the tallest thing in 25ville so far. And now that it's complete, we're finally ready to dive into the ultimate showdown, Donkey Kong.
Jump!
And with DK defeated, a burst of electricity surged through the arcade, shutting down all the games. And we can finally find out who this hacker was. Donovan? That's right, he was still salty about Val seemingly losing his team the World Championship, and decided to put an end to her Retro Arcade Cup training for good. But all the different glitches he created actually ended up giving her even more practice with these games than before, and she went on to beat the self-proclaimed video game players of the century at their own tournament. So things worked out after all. By the way, every single comment on this video earns 1 extra ticket for poor little Benny. So please, share your favorite arcade game, name ideas for next time, or literally anything else down below to help him win that minion. Please, he's getting desperate.